Hello everyone, this is Kai Rimda here for another video actually, which may shock everyone. Technically, yeah, this is my second video in a role I'm doing, and it's for a new series that I want to do. It's about, video games and music that I recommend or don't recommend. It's kind of like a mini review series, but it's more about what I think of it. If you want to find reviews of this stuff that I showcase, you can probably look them up all over the internet. But first, I'm gonna start with something that started my gaming hobby, and that is the 1990 Nintendo classic Super Mario World. What has said that hasn't been said before? It's a classic. It is. This is the game that you would first get when you got a Super Nintendo back in 1990. Later on, they had different versions of the console that came with Donkey Kong Country, um, Super Mario All Stars with Super Mario World built in, which is what one of my best friends has. That's how they got their Super Nintendo. Um, but the first release of it came with the just Super Mario World, and this sucker's been ported over to different Nintendo consoles. Like later on with the All Stars version, they changed it a little bit. They gave Luigi his own sprite, and there were some other changes. But later on down the road, they put it on Game Boy, which I also have, and they changed again by adding voices, which I'm not a fan of. Actually, I'm not even a fan of Luigi getting his own sprite, but I think it's because I'm so used to having him as just a palette swap of Mario in the first version of the game. But you can play both versions, actually all three versions even now. Well, no way you can't play all three versions, but you can kind of play the All Stars version if you go onto the Wii U game eShop, and you can pick up the Super Mario Advance 2, I think, where it came with Super Mario World, I believe. But yeah, this was the game that started my gaming career. I mean, coming off from a big game like Super Mario Bros. 3, they had to up the bar, and I think they did to. And I think they did. To me, it's a superior sequel. It changed a lot of things, and we got Yoshi. Not just one Yoshi, we got 4 different versions, and a rumored 5th one, which was green, red, yellow, blue, or purple. It was like a bluish purple, and black. So supposedly, um, it was it when it came to the hub world. It was very similar to Super Mario to Mario Bros. 3. You know, you had all the levels you can go to, but instead of it going to a different screen, you climb up well, screw that up. You went to a different screen, but you had animations instead of being like Super to where to instead of it being like Mario Bros. 3 to where you had the characters going like doop 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 doop. They actually moved along to that space, and after you pick one, they did the whole thing to where they raise up their hand, and this is also the first and I think last time we saw the cape in a official main Mario game. Because later on in Super Mario 64, we got the wing cap, and then they switched it over to the flying cap and the when I mean flying cap, I mean the the one that propeller Mario. There we go. I'm gonna call it that. The one that was introduced in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and it still exists. Even nope, it's not in 3D World. It wasn't. It wasn't even Land, but there was something similar in those games. And then later on, they brought back Raccoon Mario and Tanuki Mario. And to me, I don't mind those. I prefer Cape, because that's how I first got introduced to a flying Mario per se. I wouldn't be surprised if there's people out there that made fan art of like a Super Mario and Superman crossover to where they took Super Mario with the cape and then just put the freaking Superman suit on him, and then instead of having the giant S, they had like the M logo, or maybe Nintendo or something. And originally enough, they were going to have Raccoon Mario in this game, but they replaced it. There were a lot of different things that they did to this game that you can find out on the Mario Wiki. And they even changed the flower. The flower in the older games had like this oval shape, but they changed it to like this tulip looking to where it was smiling, and that's my favorite design of it because it was so unique. And then they went back to the classic Super Mario Brothers look of it, but they added eyes to it. And in a way, they brought back Cape Mario, and they brought back this style game with Mario Maker. So pretty much for this new generation of gamers that haven't played these classics, they're pretty much experiencing what they are. And they may have gotten the games. Because that is something that I've always loved about Nintendo. They have always made good, fun games. They may get kind of a bad rep nowadays. They may be joked on by the Xbox and the PlayStation fanboys, but I love the Wii U, and it's a shame that it's getting replaced already. They could still do a lot of things, and it's a shame. And you guys are probably wondering why I'm wearing this headset. Well, it's because of the fact that you guys will be able to hear me better. Obviously, if you guys can tell by my Alien unpackaging that I did for the Alien Anthology that I just uploaded yesterday, very early yesterday, by the way, around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning, my voice is a lot more clear than it was with the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess overview that I did. Which was a video that I wasn't very proud of, but I uploaded it anyways. But anyways, this game changed my life because it was the first game that I played. It was the Super Nintendo is the first game, and there were so many great games on the Super Nintendo. We had, Donkey Kong Country, or better yet, the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy, which in a way could be considered as Donkey Kong Jr. Trilogy if you really think about it, because Donkey Kong is the original Donkey Kong from the first 3 Donkey Kong games in the 80s. So does that make the current Donkey Kong Jr.? We had Kirby Superstar, which is another game I loved. You had the prequel to Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island. And you had kind of the precursor to Paper Mario, the Super Mario RPG. You had the first Mario Kart game. You had the first Star Fox game. You had the first F-Zero game. You had Super Metroid, and you had all these Mega Man games. I mean, what else hasn't been said about the Super Nintendo and the games? It's an awesome system. Even though that, of course, we got another cool video game character from Sega during that time, Sonic the Hedgehog on Genesis, but we won't speak about that game yet. But yeah, this game is a classic. I mean, the songs are awesome, the levels are fun, challenging but fun. I mean, of course, my only complaint is that Yoshi is a complete tool. Unfortunately. I hated losing him. If you got hit, and unfortunately there was a pit right there, you had to hurry up and get him. If you weren't fast enough, bye bye. And then there's some levels that they force you to get rid of him. So he was a tool in that game, but yet he became useful later on. I think probably not, but he's still a cool character. I still like Yoshi. So pretty much how the series will work. There will be one for video games, one for movies, and then one for music. I a lot of these videos will not be classic stuff. It may be newer stuff, and it might be in between stuff. But I hope you guys like this, and let me know what your memories are about this game, or pretty much any Mario game, or any classic Nintendo game is. Anyways, guys, this is Kyle Roomdale. Have a good night, and rock on. And also, too, for me, this is not a real review, but I'll give a rating system anyways. 5 out of 5. Just because I'm biased. See ya.